Hi everybody, welcome back to the Limit Breakdown, where we break down the latest in TV, movies, and everything going on in entertainment. I'm your host, Migs.
I'm Sid.
And today we are going to be doing a review of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 30th Anniversary Special on Netflix. Our too long didn't watch review for this episode. Loved all of the nostalgia. Felt like the episode felt like it was an episode of the original series. I love seeing all the original cast, even if it wasn't a complete reunion of everybody, and the tributes to Tui Trang and Jason David Frank at the end were really heartfelt.
Yeah, definitely. However, it was super cheesy, less than stellar writing. Like, it was kind of like, okay. And terrible CGI for a 2023 movie. I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
But we're giving this a very soft 4 hearts. I personally enjoyed it. It was everything I was expecting it to be. So we're gonna dive deep into Mighty Morphin 30th Anniversary Special. All right.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Limit Breakdown. Today we're reviewing the Power Rangers Once and Always movie that dropped on Netflix, which is a 55-minute movie, which just seems like an extended episode.
I think calling it a movie is generous. I think it was more of an extended episode.
Yeah.
But I'll give you a real quick recap, and then we'll go into our review. So, Power Rangers is celebrating its 30th anniversary, right? And Billy, after having had his adventures in space, Billy was the original Blue Ranger. He's sitting there trying to figure out a way to bring back their mentor, Zordon, who sacrificed himself valiantly in the fight against one of the evil monsters from the Power Rangers in Space series. It was a whole thing. So he sacrificed himself. His particles were spread all over the universe. And so Billy, being the brilliant scientist that he is, thought, well, maybe, if I can help bring all those particles back, we can figure out a way to bring Zordon back. But however, he didn't realize that Zordon wasn't the only thing that was destroyed in that explosion, but it was also Rita and Sid. And Rita's evil energy was brought back, and it got absorbed into Alpha 8, which is, I guess, the continuation of Alpha 5, who was the robot from back in the day. The one that was like, yeah.
Next gen.
Yeah, so
they upgraded from iPhone 8 or 5 to iPhone 8.
Yeah. So Rita's evil energy gets absorbed into Alpha 8, and so now it becomes Robo Rita. So now it's a robot Rita Repulsa, and she wants her revenge on the Power Rangers. So then, of course, it results in them having a battle, and the Power Rangers start to fight their old nemesis once again, trying to fight the forces of evil. In the process of that, Rita finally manages to kill one of the Power Rangers. She kills Trini, the Yellow Ranger. So it forces the Rangers to have to regroup. Trini at this point has a young daughter named Ming, and she is now forced to deal with having lost her mom, and Zach and Billy are taking care of her, trying to make sure that she gets taken care of after that great tragedy. And in the meantime, Rita is just going around doing her evil plan, doing all her stuff. She captures a bunch of the Rangers. Her giant evil plan was to capture the Rangers, steal their energy, and make like this weird time machine and go back in time and tell her younger self how to beat the Rangers.
Something like that.
Wasn't a great plan. But she managed to capture some of the Rangers. Trini's daughter was trying to use the Morpher, and she couldn't use the Morpher because she was trying to use it for revenge. And we all know you can't be a Power Ranger if your motivations are revenge. So But it wasn't until she sacrificed herself to try to save Billy that she was able to be worthy. The coin made her glow yellow, and then all of a sudden, it was morphin' time. And then in 55 minutes, we were able to resolve the entire issue. So that was the gist of it. I personally loved this episode. I thought it was great. I thought it was very much what we were expecting from a 30th anniversary special. I'm glad like they didn't go the super high budget route and actually made it feel like you said, an extended episode of the series, because I could see this being like a holiday special or like a Christmas special in the actual series. There's actually talk that they might do a Mighty Morphin reunion series based on this going forward.
Nice.
For Netflix, since Hasbro now owns the rights to Power Rangers, and they had their distribution deal with Nickelodeon beforehand, where the Power Rangers shows used to be aired on Nickelodeon, but now they're going to be aired exclusively on Netflix.
Nice.
So
that'd be cool. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. Yeah. But famously in Power Rangers, originally when the original cast was together, they didn't the original Red Ranger Jason, Trini and Zach, they left because of pay disputes, and they were recast with Adam, Aisha, and Rocky, and they became the secondary Rangers. And so there had been some shifts in that. I enjoyed that they found a way to be able to incorporate both teams into the special, honoring both of the legacies, because there's fans that appreciate both. There are fans that are diehard, like original Jason was the only Red Ranger, but Rocky still gets a good bit of love. So I think that that's very, very well deserved. But I am going off in a giant tandem. So,
all right. So I enjoyed Power Rangers when I was young, but I'm not a huge Power Rangers fan like you are, as you can see over there. There's actually another wall back there, but whatever. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very nostalgic and classic. And the reason I was giving it a 4, not because it's like, oh my god, it's a 4-heart movie, but it's like it's classic Power Rangers. It's the same when they're running. There's explosions for no reason. The monsters are like unnecessarily moving. The fight scenes are very entertaining. Like I was looking at the fight scenes and they're so extra, but they're good. Like they're very athletic.
The choreography has always been on point.
Yeah. The storyline was just there. I enjoyed every part of it. This was a very entertaining, as I say, turn your brain off and just enjoy a movie. And I really liked it. Nostalgic in the sense of they brought back the actors, like you said, which was great to see. They made great tribute references to Jason David Frank and Trini's original actor, whose name escapes. It starts with a T. I think it's
Toy Train.
Yes, Toy Train.
I'm probably butchering the first name, but yeah.
But yeah, so they did great references to her, especially bringing the fact that she has a daughter, she wants to be a Yellow Ranger, and everything like that. And
it's the first time within the canon of Power Rangers that Toy Trang's death has been addressed. She died tragically in a car accident in 97. So she was never, after she left the show originally, the other actors have had a chance to reprise their roles in one way, shape, or form throughout the years. But because of her tragic passing, she was never able to make another appearance as the Yellow Ranger besides her original run. So this was the first time they actually acknowledged her death. Within the context of the show. And I thought that making that be one of the center focuses of the episode really hit home. And Power Rangers is not typically known for their great acting, but you could tell, especially in the scenes with her daughter, when like Walter, Zach, the Black Ranger, and Billy, the Blue Ranger, were talking about Tui or about Trini, that they were talking with like genuine emotion, like they were remembering their friend.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Especially at the very, very last scene where they're like, oh, this happened and this happened. And they're like, oh, we got to tell her everything.
Yeah.
So they're kind of explaining to her daughter about their different experiences. And it was just like, they're like, oh,
Yeah, and they were
this
telling
thing.
stories from different episodes.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. As far as the movie episode itself, it is what it is.
I mean, look. Obviously, I'm a lot more hyped about it because I'm a huge fan of it. It was the thing about Power Rangers has always been they know what they are. They're cheesy, they're campy, they're over the top. I've always appreciated that you know it's geared towards children. But it has like I'm a fan of pro wrestling too, so it's like the cheese factor. It's not the bug, it's the feature.
Yeah, fair. That makes sense.
So I like the over the top. I love the cheesiness. They had the zippy little one liners and all of that stuff was great. There were some aspects in there. There was an famously when Rocky the Red Ranger left the series. There was a kick that he was trying to do that he ended up getting injured and kind of like injured his back or broke his back, which is the whole reason why his powers got transferred to somebody else in the first place. And I thought it was really cool that that same kick that he got injured doing, he executed in this epised.
Nice.
And Billy comes up to him and goes, "Oh man, Rocky, you
yeah.
still got it." He goes, "Man, I never lost it."
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty cool. I did enjoy that.
So it was I think for fans that watched Mighty Morphin as a kid and never really kept up with the series or anything like that they would be able to watch this and be like, man, this feels like a continuation of the series. But also for fans like myself, who I've been a huge fan of the series, a huge fan of the products ever since. Like there were so many deep cut references and Easter eggs that just kind of like, oh wow. So Adam and Aisha, right, which were the other Yellow Ranger and the other Black Ranger that weren't featured in the episode, or that didn't morph, but they were featured in the episode. They were the ones that were in space, and they have a little insignia that says SPA, right? Famously, there is a follow-up Power Ranger series from later seasons called SPD, Space Patrol Delta. So with them being SPA, it's Space Patrol Alpha. So they were the founders of what eventually became SPD.
That's
so
cool.
like I said, there's a bunch of like tiny little like things that were sprinkled into the episode.
Nice.
That help kind of bridge a lot of the whole series as a whole.
The robot fight at the end on the moon, that was pretty entertaining, and I loved it when they're like, all right, go. And that's all they do. They just go. No buttons were pressed. They're like, we need more people to go.
I always thought it was like really, really interesting how like they were never given any like actual training or instruction on how to operate this giant machine, right? And for all intents and purposes, it looks like it's just a giant joystick. So they're just like, it's like they're operating a claw machine. Like,
oh man, yeah. I thought it was pretty funny actually. And especially when it was like joining together, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Also, this was the first time that Billy has ever been front and center as far as like being the de facto leader of the team, so that was really cool. I like I said, so many nostalgic moments. Walter Jones, Zach doing his hip hop aikido.
Oh my god, yeah. She's like, are you dancing? That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
So yeah, there was so many heartfelt moments, so many nostalgic moments, and it hit all the right strings for me. So I absolutely loved it. Yeah, without obviously, there is, we normally like to dive a little bit deeper into this, but for me it was me reliving my childhood. And I absolutely loved it. They were heroes of mine when I was a kid, and I very much enjoyed seeing them back together. Obviously distressed with the recent passing of Jason David Frank. Tragically committed suicide, and kind of goes to show you that even people who are perceived as strong and can have moments of weakness and stuff. And so I'll just take this opportunity to go ahead and put it out. If anybody ever has any thoughts of self-harm or anything like that, there are resources out there that can help you. There are people that can help you. Don't make a permanent decision for a temporary problem. But without going too far beyond that, my final thoughts on this special was that it was a great nostalgic revisit into a franchise that I loved as a child and still love as an adult.
Yeah, same. I thought it was a good, very good tribute to the actors, both past and present, alive and not, and to the franchise as a whole. Very entertaining, not worthy of like a critic award or anything, but definitely a good. Let's turn our brain off and just enjoy Power Rangers as is, and I think that's why I loved it so much.
Yep.
So.
Same here.
Thank you guys for watching. This was our episode. If we missed something, let us know in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys next time with a new review.
All right, so thanks for tuning in, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
And please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and podcasting services such as Apple Podcast and Spotify.
Thanks a lot. Catch you next time.